Doing this long enough where you've been in some environments, but this was a hostile one. Did it affect your guys?
I don't know. I think we were excited to play. I thought our preparation leading up was good. We did get off to a slow start, so it's certainly possible that the environment affected us a little bit because we were a little shaky with the ball in the first half. Had some turnovers that some plays we'd like back, but that's something we got to figure out. We got to good teams play well on the road, and that's something we got to build to.
Down the stretch, teams were kind of trading 4 or 5 point kind of spurts, and you guys just weren't really able to put together like a 7 or 8 point run to sort of close them out when you guys had those spurts. What was it about their ability to kind of keep you from kind of closing them out when you had some chances?
Yeah, they kept us from generating the kind of shots we wanted on offense. I thought their pressure affected us a little bit. I thought we missed some guys because we were maybe sped up a little bit at different times in the game, and then I felt like they just made the plays down the stretch. They hit some big shots. We made some mistakes defensively they made us pay for, and credit to them for playing well down the stretch.
From physicality-wise, I mean, it was a physical game. It got a little trippy at times. I'm curious if you guys do you feel you guys handled the physicality of this game as well as you could have?
Yeah, I mean, we can always be better, right? Anytime you don't get the result you want, you're going to look at some things and say, that's an area we could have done better. A lot of that physicality shows up on the glass. There was some opportunities for us to finish some possessions that we weren't able to, specifically down to 90 seconds, and they got multiple offensive rebounds that led to free throws where we had pretty good defensive possessions. But, in general, I thought that, we competed and we played physical as well.
Coach, it seemed like Uriah just attacked the paint a lot in the second half. First half offense, you guys had 10 turnovers, didn't shoot that great. So what were the adjustments that were made at halftime?
Yeah, we talked about taking care of the ball. Deyton and Uriah were aggressive versus pressure. We always want to do that. I felt like we didn't quite find enough action. We didn't quite find enough ball movement. Some of that was, credit to their defense, and some of that was missing some opportunities. But, Uriah and Deyton both coming off some days off, and we were trying to manage their minutes a little bit, and then, with their pressure, we kind of went with both those guys late in the game to try to help us generate some offense.
Versace 9, Jones 21. They had a good second half. What was it that they were able to get going in the second half?
Yeah, we lost 9 a couple times with some rotation mistakes. I thought we closed Jones short a time or two where he got his first couple baskets. And he's a really tough shot maker, and so once he saw it go through, you could feel his aggression pick up. So, some things that we can do better, but those guys also hit big shots.
Even with the tough loss, any individual performances that you're proud of today?
Yeah, we had several guys play well. I mean, we'll have to go back and look at the film, but I think every time we play, there's going to be things that we did well and players who played well, and we always want to try to build on that, and then we'll go back and look at the things that we didn't do as well and try to clean them up.
And then any message you going back home for your Lobo fans?
Yeah, we're going to keep getting better. Back to work. We're not, obviously, losing is disappointing. Losing this one's extra disappointing, and we got to play better going forward.
Deyton and Uriah, and you touched on Uriah specifically, but Deyton and Uriah both were really aggressive in drawing some fouls, and Deyton was drawing some fouls. Uriah, I thought, was successful with his aggression on offense. Is that what you want out of the two of them, and is there anyone else you want to play that way, or is it really just their skill set that you want doing that and attacking like they were?
Well, those guys have a lot of burst and quickness, so they have the ability to get in the paint. I thought, Chris and Luke do it a different way, but we want them to be really aggressive. I thought we over-penetrated a couple times and kind of missed some opportunities. But anytime that we see, ball pressure, we want to be aggressive. We want everyone to think aggressively and try to get their feet in the paint and make a good decision.
And then defensively, they were 3 of 7 from three-point range early on, but then they missed their next 13 three-pointers. Was that by design by you guys? I mean, you don't want them to shoot open threes, but you guys would rather it look like early on you guys are protecting inside a lot more than the outside. Was that by design?
Yeah. We always start with protecting the paint. We felt like some of the shot making early was kind of difficult shots. Some of the ones that we felt like we could live with that went in. I thought our guys did a nice job of not overreacting to that and just kind of playing the game, and we got ourselves back in it. But then we saw that again late with some rotation errors and some things. But again, you got to give credit to to those kids for hitting those big shots in those moments.
Coach, this was a back-and-forth one-possession game down the stretch when DA goes out at the 156 mark. You guys didn't score after that. Did you like the offensive possessions that you got, some of the shots?
I'd have to go back and look. I know we had a couple looks that didn't go, and we had a couple possessions that we, certainly need to get better looks then.
With them shooting threes?
Yeah. Going into the game, it was kind of playing a lot of gap help, kind of forced them to shoot a lot of threes. They weren't shooting it as great as they did tonight before, but, you have games like this, big game, big crowd. They were feeling it a little bit, so that's what comes with it.
Was this the first real physical test? I know you guys have the 3 home games, but was this the most physical game you guys have had so far?
For me, yeah, I would say yes. They were doing pretty well on the glass. A lot of hard fouls and stuff like that. So in terms of that type of physicality, yeah, for sure.
Deyton, the first half, you guys had 10 turnovers. You got some shots deep in the shot clock. Second half, you really just attacked the paint really hard. Man, what was different in the second half?
I would just say making adjustments in the halftime locker room. Coach was telling us to be more aggressive and, take care of the ball and the drive decisions, to be better with those and stay aggressive and just trust each other.
Yep. And then you fouled out tonight, man, obviously at the 156 mark. Were you just wrong place, wrong time? Were you just going for the ball? What did you feel there?
Honestly, I didn't know that I was in deep foul trouble. I was just so in tune in the game and just happy to be out there playing and just made the wrong play at the wrong time. But I was just trying to be aggressive, trying to put a decent foul shooter on the line, try to give us a chance to go back on offense and get 2 points, 3 points.
Curious, atmosphere-wise, everyone wants to know what the atmosphere is like in these games. How much did the atmosphere affect tonight's game?
It was a great, decent crowd. I wouldn't say it had too much effect on me. I didn't see too much of my teammates being rattled, but kind of these type of games prepares us for what's coming up next, and we'll be ready for it.
All right, you've been through this before. You guys have, you've lost big games. What does the team need to do now to sort of bounce back from something like this?
Don't lose confidence. Keep trusting our work. Keep trusting what the coaches are doing, and come back and be ready to go.
I want to start off with the injury. You came back from not playing Tuesday. What was the injury, and were you feeling good tonight?
I sprained my ankle against UT Arlington. Came back. I think I was ready to go, so that's why I played today. Still swollen a little bit, but good enough to play.
As a freshman, this was your first experience in a road environment like this, not exactly what Washington State was like for an exhibition. So this was your first road game, and it was a pretty hostile one. What did you think about the environment?
Well, definitely a fun environment to play in. Rivalry games are always fun to play in. Obviously, you want to win, and we didn't get to do that tonight.
Okay, defensively, actually, the physical nature of the game. How physical was it? Were they pretty physical with you guys?
It was a pretty chippy game. Some calls didn't go our way, but that happens sometimes. So.
All right, and then the last one, you guys down the stretch. You guys were up 5. I think about midway or kind of late in the second half, and it seems like both teams kind of kept going on like 4 or 5 point spurts. You guys couldn't quite put them away. What was it about down the stretch that you guys couldn't just quite get over the hump?
Yeah, we just couldn't. We couldn't get stops. We got to execute better on defense. Rotate better. As a whole. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. But
Uriah, Verstech, number 9, and Jones, number 21, really got going in the second half. They scored, I think, 28 points in the second half. Just what got going for them?
They were big on the scout, and we didn't do a good job in the second half to contain them the way we wanted to. So
You were super aggressive in the second half, man. I think you had 10 second half points, got into the paint, hit a couple big threes, too. Just how aggressive were you in the second half?
Coming off the bench, being aggressive is what they want me to do. So I went out there and did that. Missed a big 3 down the stretch. Definitely want to have that back, but it happens.
And what's next for this team, man? You guys travel on the road again this week. What do you think the mentality of this team is going into next week?
On to the next game. That's all we can do.